Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here with a 100% full game walkthrough of Transference, available September 18th, 2018. This game is published by Ubisoft, and as you can tell by how long the video is, that is how long it will take us to unlock all of the achievements or trophies. The game does offer 1000 gamer score, but does not offer a platinum trophy. It's also available on PSVR and the PC, with support for Oculus and Vive. And if you have the chance to play the game in VR, I would recommend it. However, it's actually still a fantastic game without the VR, and I would recommend the game. I had a lot of fun with it. It's really, really cool. It does a lot of unique things in a time where there are games that take 50 hours and there's these huge open worlds. It's nice to sit down for a couple of hours and just enjoy a narrative experience. Now, the first time you go through this game is probably going to take you 2 to 3 hours. I'd probably just recommend you enjoy it if you want to get your money's worth. If you just want to go through the video, that's okay too. Keep in mind, the reason the video is so short is because there is a heavy reliance on puzzles, which I already know the solution to, and there is also a lot of backstory, which we'll be kind of skipping. Now, in terms of the achievements or trophies, there's 14 of them. 11 of them are going to be attained for just completing the game. There's also a bunch of videotapes you can collect. There's 13 of those. There is a special kind of collectible that has its own achievement tied to it. And there's also audio logs. I'm not exactly sure how many there are, but I will definitely show you everything you need in the video. Let's just get started by going into the main menu. We can go into the settings and, you know, play with whatever we want to play with. There is, I do want to turn up the brightness a little bit and turn off the film grain, as that typically looks terrible on YouTube. We'll invert the axis and we will start a new game. This is actually going to be like my 9th time going through the game. It's embarrassing how many times I had to go through it to find all of the collectibles. But nonetheless, we're into the game. Here we go. The very first cinematic, if you want, you can skip. Again, I'd recommend actually enjoying this game, but that's going to be completely up to you. I won't judge you. Once you get control of the character, it's a walking simulator style game. Move with the left stick, look with the right stick. And we're going to pick up items with the A button, and then when we have items picked up, or we can interact with items with the A button, for some items that's going to include picking them up. And then when we do pick them up, we can also use the triggers to kind of zoom in on them and inspect them. So we'll go down the path to the left here. We will inspect the key. We'll grab the key off the ground, and we will use this key to gain entrance into the building. More or less, the entire game takes place in an apartment. You'll see kind of why that's cool and not cool, whatever. Put the key in the lock, turn the lock, the door will open, you're inside. This is the first puzzle, and where I got stuck pretty much immediately when I played the game. What you need to do is you need to input the musical notes, and to do that, you would look in here, look through the paper, and the combination you would input would be, any minute now. The combination is C, D, E, and that will open that up and unlock your first progressional achievement or trophy. Walk up to the door and interact with it to trigger a cinematic of sorts. Alright, so walk forward, interact with the light switch on your left. Walk forward and go up the stairs. Interact with the light switch directly in front of you. I'm skipping a lot of things because I'm just kind of going through the bare minimum you need to complete the game, so keep that in mind. You'll now want to go down the stairs and interact with the white switch on the wall. You will now want to go down the stairs all the way to the bottom. Every time you switch, you're kind of switching between different states of the building, and they're altering each other based on what you learn. If you've played the game Assemblance, it kind of works in a similar way to that. But we've made our way to the basement, go all the way to the end, and you'll find this loud door knocker. I'd recommend playing with a good headset, as the audio in this game is really well made, and it definitely helps with solving things. But once we grab that door knocker from the door in the basement, we can now go up the steps with it. On the second floor, you'll see that light switch again, the yellow one. We'll want to interact with that one. And now we can place this door knocker onto the corrupted door to gain entrance into the apartment, where we'll be spending most of our game. Open the door to get access inside. As we walk in, turn to the right and look down the hall. You'll see the kid. The kid will run away, and that will trigger a phone message. On the phone, you will make sure you want to play that message.
Guys, it's Mom.
Now next, we will find our first videotape of 13 in the game. Look to your left until you see the music room. It has 2 pianos in it as well as a film player. You'll want to look in the cabinet underneath that in order to find a videotape. Once you interact with any type of these video logs, they will basically install themselves into the main menu. So if you pause the game, go to video logs, you'll see all the names here, and all the names will be in the description of the YouTube video. If you're looking for a specific one in the video, I'll have them time linked. But basically, when you unlock them, they'll stack into this menu, and then you can watch these kind of short little videos. And they're quite interesting, actually, if you go through the game and are paying attention the whole time. So I won't be going through every single time and going into this menu to show you what I just unlocked. I will show you all videotapes. And again, if you want to need to cross-reference anything, that information will be in the YouTube description. But after that, we can now do a couple of steps here. So what we'll do is right out of the front door, we'll look on the ground and there is an A. We'll grab the A and then walk forward, and you'll notice that there is a room with a password. The password to the room is Laika, which is the name of the family dog. There's a lot of little clues that let you know that, but this one's the pretty obvious one. We'll also pick up the I from the ground right in front of it. And then we can look for this white light switch in the hallway, and we will flick that light switch. Now that we are in the white hue area, the phone should automatically ring. You can walk up to it in order to kind of listen to it, although you don't have to interact with it in any way. That should be done just in case it's an audio log. At this point, go back to where we came from. On the left side of the hall, there is a door with a weird machine. On that table, there's also a yellow crystal. Put the crystal into the crystal resonator, and you should, I believe, unlock an achievement or trophy right here that will not show up on screen, as I had to make this video in kind of 2 separate cuts. Don't worry, everything will start showing up as normal in literally a couple minutes. But anyways, you walk forward out this yellow door now into the family area here. And at this point, we can turn right out of this door. Then turn left and go into the kitchen. This is the kitchen, which is also corrupted. It says that you need the radio matched frequency. So inside of the kitchen, you'll see a switch that turns this to the green hue. So we'll click the green switch. We will then interact with the radio and set the radio to approximately 97. And once you set it correctly, it should kind of glow like a bright red, as you see on screen. So now that we have that set properly in this kind of dimension, we can select the light switch again to go back into the yellow reddish hue. And we have to match the frequency. So again, that was approximately 97 when the needle turns bright red. And now they are matched. You will uncorrupt the kitchen. You will unlock another achievement or trophy. And you do have to wait here for a minute or 2 until the audio plays out. At some point, once the audio plays out, the door to your right here will open up automatically and help you kind of proceed through the game a little bit here. So once that door opens on your right, you can try to speed up the game by walking forward into the doorway. There will be a bit of a spook, which is 100% necessary. Perfect. So now that we are in the kitchen, we can we'll spawn looking kind of you know, where we came from. You'll notice this back door with a key on it. Open that door, grab the key from the box, turn around, put the key into the door, and then turn the key, open the door. Now, before leaving, we're actually going to have to do something, which is go and switch the light in the room to this color right here. And now that we're in this color, we will go up to the table and we'll see this kind of tape recorder. We will pick it up and then hold the left trigger to make sure that it starts playing a tape recording. This is what the game calls an audio log, and this is not what the game calls a videotape. Keep that in mind. They are different, but we will need this. Then you can put it down and back up, switch the light back to the yellow hue. And now we can walk outside into the backyard. We'll go down the steps and notice a small shed where the kid likes to hang out. We'll go inside of Ben's shack and notice a radio in front of us. We'll interact with it. There's also this little map here which has some cool backstory about it. But the more important thing is that we go deeper into the shack and look above the door. You'll notice that there is another tape. This is Ben 06/18/2011 at 1:04 p.m. We can now put it away, leave the shack, and go back into the kitchen up the stairs. Interact with the switch to change it back to the, I guess, green hue. Exit out the back door again to get to the backyard. Go down the steps and into the garage. Once you enter the garage, there's about 4 or 5 things we need to do in here. I'm going to do them in kind of a specific order. So walk in and then interact with the computer. This will get some of the things started you'll need to do. Next to the computer, there is a filing cabinet. You'll want to open the filing cabinet, pull out the folder, and that will show you this picture, which I believe is of the dev team, and unlock an achievement or trophy specifically tied to this collectible. Additionally, in this room, there are 2 videotapes. One is the USB key directly next to the computer. I will pick that one up. And then if we turn around behind the computer, we will find a tall, skinny locker. We can open up the locker, and at the bottom of the locker, we'll find a VHS tape, which should be our 4th tape as well. If you want to do a quick video log check, you should have the same 4 highlighted white as me. Now that we are done in this room, you should be able to leave, assuming you have interacted with the computer at the beginning. And we can go back up into the kitchen. There's always a solution. Once in the kitchen, make sure you interact with this tape recorder on the left. This seems like the same tape recorder as before, but it actually has a new message on it. So make sure that you get the new message on it, which should be in the subtitles on the screen. You might hear 2 or 3 things kind of happening at once because there's multiple scenes happening within the house at the same time. Just make sure you grab that. Now, before we walk into that room, which seems almost too obvious, we do want to go into the main living area. And there should be a phone message. You have one new message that only plays as you approach the phone in this dimension at this time. You can't come back to this. If you missed it, you missed it. You got to start your playthrough all over again. So make sure you play this phone recording.
I don't know how much longer I can do this.
And now we can go back to the kitchen.
You have to make a choice.
The kitchen is kind of connected to what I guess most people would call a dining area. And in the dining area, there is a computer. We will need to uncorrupt this computer in order to unlock the snowflake. Now, to do that, what you would do is you would find these snowflake pieces, and you would connect them in order to find the password. The password is the same every time, but I do want to connect it just to kind of show you guys exactly what would happen if, for whatever reason, you did get stuck. So you're going to connect these 4, and you'll find out that the password is 2476. You will then input it on this computer. 2476. You'll wait, and the computer will accept. You should get another achievement or trophy here for doing uncorrupting the dining room. Now, next up, what we'll do is we will look to the left of the room. We'll see this 3D printer, but before interacting with it, look into the cabinet underneath it on the right-hand side to find a USB key. This contains a tape you will need. Next, you want to uncrouch, interact with the 3D printer in order to print the letter K. Pick up the letter K when it's done. Head back into the kitchen. Interact with the yellow light in the kitchen. You should still have the K in your hands, and you can go through the door now and put the K onto the password of the kid's bedroom. You will need the L and the A, which should be on the fridge in this same kind of dimension. So the L and an A are found on the fridge. The I is found directly underneath the door when you first see it. The K is found from the 3D printer after going to the garage. And the last A is found in front of the front door. So that should open up the door. You can now go inside, and this should uncorrupt the kid's bedroom, which should unlock an achievement or trophy, I think. Either way, even if it doesn't, it's fine. We've done everything correctly. Open the closet door. Inside of the closet, you'll find a CD. This CD is the a videotape called Ben 03_12_2011 at 11:48 a.m. Now, on the desk, there's also a walkie-talkie, which you are free to interact with. This may or may not be an audio log. I'm not 100% sure on how the game counts them, so I've just been picking them up to be safe. Now, in the kid's little drawer next to his computer, you can open up the top drawer and find the green crystal. You will then want to take this crystal into the hallway, interact with the white light switch, then walk forward and go to the right-hand side room. Place the second crystal in the crystal resonator. And that's an achievement or trophy there. I guess that's why they didn't have one for the kid's bedroom. Alright, so now we're in this kind of dark red closet. Walk forward and leave this area. Walk into the next room and then turn around and look at the closet behind you. The door will actually change if you're quick enough. So if the door looks like this big metal one, you can now open it. And inside you should be able to find a tape. So make sure you pick up that tape. This one's called CatherineSunsong.vid. Now we'll need to solve the piano puzzle, which actually took me a little bit of time. But if you go down the hallway, go into the right-hand side room, into the dining room, look into the cabinet where we earlier found the USB key, you will find a light bulb. Pick up the light bulb, and then take the light bulb to the piano room. Connect the light bulb on top of the piano so you have all 6 of the light bulbs. And then you'll see that the piano has 6 keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll want to interact with piano keys 2, 3, 4, and 6. That will light up all of the lights and uncorrupt the living room. What you'll want to do now is enter the living room. There's a couple things that are of very important interest. As soon as you walk in, look down and to a little bit to your left in order to find a tape on the table here. From this location, if we turn to the right-hand side, we'll see some filing cabinets. In these filing cabinets, there should be another tape. Pick that up as well. This one's very important. These are both Catherine. The first one was Catherine/strings.vid, and then this one I just picked up was a Catherine vlog with a timestamp. So now at this point, you can kind of wander through the room and inspect on your own accord. But what you want to do is go to the hallway and look down the hall to see Catherine walk to the bedroom and follow her there. You will follow her into the bedroom, and then once you stand in here for a little bit, you will get attacked. You will now be in an upside down room, which I highly recommend you look around because it's really cool. But to exit, look into the filing cabinet from underneath and interact with the blue switch. Now we'll want to go forward. We will want to walk into the kitchen. Change the kitchen to the red area. Now we will want to go to the dining room we just opened. And if we walk forward, we should be able to locate a radio on the ground next to the fireplace, which I'm going to interact with. And on the table just to the left of that, there is also a CD, which is a videotape, and you'll want to pick that up. Now what we want to do is go back to the kitchen. We'll actually want to go back to the kids' room. I apologize. In the kids' room, pick up the bottle of sand here. You can stay and watch the screen here just in case. Just make sure like you see it and that the subtitles come up. But pick up the sand from the kid's desk and now go to the kitchen.
There's my fucking dog.
And now interact with the switch. Now what you want to do is take the sand to the living room.
They're going to be here any minute. I've got to fix it.
Put the sand inside of the hourglass.
Need a little more time.
You will then want to turn the hourglass and make sure you run into the corner of the room. You can't really run in the game, but you got to be quick on this one. So I, for whatever reason, was unsuccessful in that attempt, so let's try again. Turn the hourglass and walk into the clocks. Now, if done correctly, you will stay in this corner. A clock will spawn in front of you. Do not solve this puzzle yet. It's very important you do something first, and that is look down on the desk on the right-hand side and find the audio log that escaped me for 8 straight playthroughs. You'll pick it up. You'll listen to it. There is a creepy song that plays, and then you can put it down. Now we can solve the puzzle, and if you're a millennial, you might not know what this device is in front of you. It is a clock. Now, what we can do is, all we need to do really is input the proper time using any of these clocks on the table. There's an equation clock, a binary clock, a hexadecimal clock. There's all these clocks all over. But what we need to do is solve the puzzle, and to do that, we will input the time 8:56. Or, for whatever reason, it worked at 8:58. I guess it has to be around the 8:55 time or so, and it should work. I believe doing this gets you an achievement or trophy for uncorrupting the living room, which I just unlocked off screen. Yep. And we are good to go. So what you want to do now is back up from where we were standing and look on top of the fireplace to the right in order to find a USB key, which has a tape on it. Now what you want to do is back up and look to the right of the fireplace to see a television. Behind this television is a videotape. We'll pick it up as well. There is also a walkie-talkie right here on this kind of equipment of sorts. And once we leave this room into the main area, our phone should have a message on it.
One new message.
I woke up in the night.
And that will unlock our achievement for Broken Family, finding all of the audio logs. I do believe there were 1 or 2 things that I did extra that aren't required, but I wanted to be on the safe side because this was, like I said before, I've recorded this video way too many times. Nonetheless, let's now go and in the room here, which would have been the music room, there is now a red crystal. Pick up the red crystal. and head to the end of the hall, turn to the right, find the white light switch, and press it. Walk forward, go into the right-hand side room, and put the red crystal into the crystal resonator. In order to unlock an achievement or trophy for placing the third crystal in. Now, this room you spawn in after putting in that third crystal, and there's a very tricky videotape here. While looking where you're looking once you spawn, down near your feet on the left, there is a videotape on the floor. It is incredibly dark and almost impossible to see, so I will try to show you the outline of it as I approach it here. You pretty much can't see it, though, and there it is. So it's right there. You can't see it. In VR, you can see it a little bit better, but you'll pick this up. This should be your last videotape as well, and that should unlock the achievement for all videotapes. You can watch them if you want, but again, you don't have to. At this point, we can now walk forward, and basically all we're going to do is proceed through to the end of the game, walk into the main area, walk out of the front door of your house, and go down the stairs. You will continue going down the stairs for approximately a minute to 2 minutes until every time you do a loop, it is slightly different. So if you're paying attention to the story, I'd highly recommend you're listening and everything. But you're just going to continue looping down the stairs for about a minute or so. Sorry, one sec. I'm adjusting the audio right as I'm doing that. Sorry about that. As you reach the bottom of the stairs, the noises will get louder and louder. You'll begin to hear the young boy at the bottom of the steps. At the bottom of the steps, you'll see this, which will disappear. Now you can go back into your apartment, turn to your right, go into the bedroom. Once inside of the bedroom, you'll see the music box. You'll want to hold the right bumper to wind up the music box. You can also look through the drawers as we now wait. There's pregnancy tests, and they are positive. This all goes to the backstory we were talking about. But once the box, finishes playing its small song, it will open, revealing our fourth and final crystal. Pick up the crystal, and then walk forward. At some point, the front door will open. If you are too quick, you will have to wait a bit. But once the front door opens, you walk forward. And continue walking forward until you can place the crystal. And once you can, make sure you do that. Placing the crystal will unlock another achievement or trophy. Then you will walk forward through the door in front of you into the white light. Continue walking forward for another 20 to 30 seconds at this point. And the game is basically coming to an end. So before it does, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If this video was helpful, you got your 1000 gamer score, you got all your trophies, I've helped you with a puzzle, whatever it was, I'd really appreciate if you drop a like. Feel free to subscribe for future content if that's something you are interested in. Share the video with some friends if you so desire. And hopefully I see you guys in the near future. A special thanks to all the unbelievable people on Patreon who do support the show and make videos like this possible. Once we do reach the final cinematic, you will unlock that final achievement. And at this point, you should now have your 14 out of 14, your 1000 out of 1000, or whatever console you play on. It's totally cool. And that's how you can finish Transference in about 30 to 40 minutes. Again, thank you guys for watching. Again, thank you to everyone on Patreon. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the kind comments, which I do actually read. Also, just a quick note, once you do finish the game, clicking resume game just lets you play the very end of the game again. If you do want to go like achievement hunt or collectible hunt, click new game. It will save all of your collectibles. However, you will have to restart the game all the way from the beginning as there are no save slots. But you should be able to run through the game in about 20 to 30 minutes if you really know what you're doing. So yeah, and hopefully I see you guys soon. Macca out. Peace.